We welcome you to Sherman, Texas, just south of the iconic Red River for this Memorial Day weekend clash. Texoma FC, on the heels of its first ever win in club history, will take on another League One giant, Greenville Triumph in town, trying to snap a 5-match winless streak. Happy to have you with us. John Gross with you on this Sunday afternoon. Let's look back to last Wednesday. Texoma FC taking on the reigning champions in Union Omaha, searching for that first ever win, and Solomon Asante and company got the job done. The first win in club history for Texoma, the 8th expansion team in league history to beat a defending champion. Certainly an impressive feat. Adrian Forbes said his team had to play for the occasion. They certainly did, and they picked up that iconic first ever win. And a major reason for that win was this man, Solomon Asante, the USL legend in his first season playing at the League One level. 2 goals and an assist this season for the native of Ghana. Had that opening goal last match, and he has meant so much to this club as a leader. Just the passion, the desire that he brings. Adrian Forbes had glowing remarks to share about Asante, who, again, one of the all-time greats in USL history, 2-time USL Championship MVP with Phoenix Rising. Look towards Leo Castro, the reigning League One Player of the Week, fresh off of a brace with a couple of headed goals. The ageless wonder, 36 years old, now with 91 career professional goals. Had a brace 6 minutes apart with a couple of headers last time out against AV Alta. His 15th multi-goal contribution performance in his legendary 17-year career, and the consummate professional, according to Rick Rice. They'll certainly look towards him to provide an attacking spark for Greenville Triumph. We'll have lineups and kickoff for you in just a few moments. Greenville Triumph trying to get off the snide. Meanwhile, it's Texoma searching for back-to-back wins. You're watching USL League One on ESPN+. We'll kick things off after this. Back here at historic Bearcat Stadium in Sherman, Texas, a venue opened all the way back in 1940, capacity of about 6,500. It'll host this first ever meeting between Texoma FC and Greenville Triumph. All right, let's dive into the starting 11 for both squads. First, for Adrian Forbes and Los Pájaros of Texoma FC. The 5-3-2, same starting 11 as last match. Javier Garcia making his 3rd consecutive start in goal. It's a back line that has allowed just 1 goal over the last 2 matches after conceding 17 in the first 6. Ajmer Spangler, watch out for him in the midfield. And of course, Asante up front, a lethal player who is a potent goal scorer. And for Greenville Triumph, just one change. Ivan Ajakwa gets the start in place of Evan Lee. This is so rare. This is according to GVL Goals on Twitter. Evan Lee is on the bench for just the 10th time in his Greenville Triumph career. This is somebody with 182 career appearances as a member of Greenville Triumph, the USL League One all-time appearance leader. Otherwise, 4th straight start for Siobhan Marsh. Certainly watch out for him. And we highlighted Leo Castro in the open. The ageless wonder, 36 years old, 91 career goals as a pro. And I touched on Siobhan Marsh momentarily. Again, 4th start that he's making this season, the native of Kingston, Jamaica. Major off-season acquisition for Greenville Triumph, somebody with Jamaican national team experience. Rick Wright said he was initially moved into that starting 11 with others being out of form, but said that Siobhan has certainly rose to the occasion. They've been working on fixing some of Siobhan's training habits, and we'll see what's in store for the 5'5" midfielder today. Meanwhile, for Texoma, you see Solomon Asante leading the charge for this team. He's not a captain for Texoma. Adrian Forbes did not want to put too much on his plate, but he still leads by example, leads in many ways, has the passion, the desire to win, despite being such an accomplished player already. This is not the guy who is just sitting back and relaxing in the latter years of his career. He's going out there, he's winning, he wants to succeed. And we are underway, first ever meeting between Greenville Triumph and Texoma FC on this Memorial Day weekend on a sweltering Sunday in Sherman, Texas. 92 degrees, a real feel of 103. And because of that heat, we will have multiple water breaks, so certainly be on the lookout for that. If you see us stop, that's why. Greenville winless in its last 5 matches across all competitions. 0-3-2 over that stretch. Last time out, a 2-2 draw against Davie Alta. Greenville took a 2-1 lead in the 76th minute before conceding just a horrific goal in the 86th minute. Connor Evans tried to clear it, kicked it off of his own teammate in Brandon Fricke. Right in front of goal, it was tapped in. That's the second time that we've seen a clearance attempt hit a teammate and lead to a goal conceded by Greenville. We saw it against Chattanooga as well. That was a moment that head coach Rick Wright said in his 50 years of being involved in the sport, he's never seen that. And he said, I hope to never see that again in my next 50 years. Castro took some contact and a free kick awarded. Cuauhtemoc Delgadillo is our match referee today. First ever meeting between these clubs. Greenville, its 3rd meeting of the season against an expansion club. 0-2 this year against first-year sides, having drawn Westchester and Davie Alta. An ambitious ball skips out of play for a throw. There is Ivan Ajakwa getting the start today, just his 2nd start of the season. Did not play last match, but does get the start today for Greenville Triumph. First-year pro after a standout college career at Furman University in Greenville. That is a legendary college soccer program producing the likes of Clint Dempsey, Ricardo Clark, Walker Zimmerman, and Ajakwa, a multi-time all-conference player for the Paladins. Here is the aforementioned Ajakwa, native of London. Greenville certainly comfortable in possession. This is a team that is 4th in the league in possession stats. As Zakowski hustles after it, he will get there first, tries to turn one across. Stabbed away by Calfo and cleared. Only as deep as Pollock. Here comes Texoma. Asante leaves it wide. Mason. Spangler back for Mason. And the 1-2 a bit heavy. And a goal kick on the way for Gunther Rankenberg. But that's how Texoma can thrive. We talked about Greenville being comfortable with possession. Texoma, opposite side of the spectrum, just 45% possession this season on average, which is in the lower portion of the league. A team that can certainly beat you on some counters, has some pace, pretty quick in transition. Jacqua under some duress. And a free kick on the way. Ajmir Spengler extending that press. What a player he has been this season. The Tampa, Florida native has contributed to 5 of Texoma's 6 goals this season. He has scored 4 of them, 5 of the 8 goals. He scored 4 of the 8 goals, including a goal last time out against Union Omaha. And he has now scored in 4 of his team's last 5 matches. Long ball brought in by Castro, though could not control completely. And a throw-in coming for Texoma. Texoma looking to build off of that inaugural win in club history. Took down the reigning champions in Union Omaha last Saturday. That was a match that was delayed by about 2 hours due to severe thunderstorms in the area. And it was fascinating chatting with Texoma manager Adrian Forbes, who played 363 matches in England, mainly in the Championship and League One. Also managed teams, worked for Luton Town from 2019 to 2024 in its ascent to the Premier League. He said he never had a weather delay in his entire soccer career before last Saturday's match. So he said he was all out of sorts, didn't really know what to do, but gave a lot of credit to the rest of his staff. There's Adrian Forbes, first time coaching in the United States. Gave a lot of credit to the rest of his staff, a lot of credit to his players for how they dealt with that adversity, how they handled it on the fly. And he said, hey, it would have been easy for us to face that adversity, face that delay, see the reigning champions in town, and just fold. But his team pulled out the win. He did acknowledge it's a massive weight off of his squad's shoulders to pick up that first win. Lovely combination there, though Jordan gives it away as Chapa Herrera controls for Greenville. Herrera today playing back in his home state, the El Paso, Texas native. Had a long career with his hometown club, El Paso Locomotive. And that signing with El Paso actually came after being seen playing in a weekend tournament in his free time while working in construction. Zakowski couldn't quite get there, and it's brought in by Javier Garcia. Garcia making his 3rd consecutive start. His only 3 appearances of the season. And Pollock read that ball well. Zakowski now has some space to work with. Zakowski plays one in, takes the deflection, and heads out. Corner kick number 1 on the way for Greenville triumph. And it is Connor Evans, the reigning USL League One Team of the Week honoree, who will send this in. Had an assist last match. Has been extremely productive last 2 matches, a goal and 2 assists. He does have Sebastian Velasquez standing next to him. Evans curls it in. That is routine for Garcia. Garcia trying to lock down that starting spot. We did see Mason McCready start the first 6 matches for Texoma, but Garcia getting his 3rd consecutive start. He's actually never been a full-time starter throughout his pro career. Previously played for USL Championship sides RGV and El Paso, both in Texas. Really giving away at the back end. It is turned over. Castro carries. Castro rolls it through. Lovely feed. And it's broken up by Garcia, who is down. It was Siobhan Marsh making that run in behind. And Javier Garcia is down. What a lovely run and ball this was. Oh, and you see the contact to the face. And Garcia getting checked on. And any contact to the face, the head area, will get that added attention from the medical crew. Garcia, good to see him giving the thumbs up. Last time out, 6 saves against Union Omaha, that 2-1 win. That includes the save of the week. We'll take a look at that during halftime. But he has come in, made some plays, really earned these starting opportunities. And you look at the numbers, over the first 6 matches, Texoma conceded 17 goals. Over the last 2, just 1 goal allowed. And a warm round of applause for Javier Garcia. And when I spoke to Adrian Forbes prior to last week's match about his goalkeeping situation, he was quick to point out that the change in goal is not to pin the blame on Mason McCready, but just wanted to kind of clear McCready's head, give Javier Garcia an opportunity as well to start. And Garcia has certainly capitalized with this role. Fricky wins the aerial ball. Herrera couldn't get there. Brought in by J.P. Jordan, the first-year pro. Ramos powers one ahead. And Rankenberg touched it. Did he touch that out of the area? Let's see. We will see a card come out. Wow. Gunther Rankenberg, yellow carded. Let's get one more look at it.
Joe Brown Attorney, www.joebrown.law.
Let's see where the ball is when he touches it. Yes, that's clear. It seemed like it was fully out of the area. And Rankenberg, the first-year starter, first-year full-time starter, I should say. He split starting reps last year with Christian Garner. An early miscue. And it sets up what amounts to be a short corner for Texoma. Maciek Bortnichuk, who had an assist last week, will send this in. Bortnichuk curls it. threatening ball, certainly for Texoma. But Angelo Calfo could not head it goalwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by the referee to Greenville, trom SC.
That is a well-placed ball by Bortnichuk. Calfo on the receiving end of it. Unable to capitalize. Certainly some contact they play on, though, as Marsh carries forward. Marsh hesitates. And now here is the whistle. Castro down. Leo Castro back on his feet. Hobbling a bit. There's one more look at it. Clear cut foul. And Pollock will put it back into play. "15 minutes through in this one. Still scoreless in the first ever meeting between Greenville Triumph and Texoma. Calfo heads it away. Velasquez now. Castro. Miscommunication. And Ramos scoops it up. For Greenville, been a bit of a light schedule as of late. 8 days since the last match. 15 days between the match before that and the last match. Rick Wright did say it's been a little difficult for his squad to build some rhythm. Earlier in the season, there was a stretch where they had a bunch of matches in a short amount of time. That's tough. This stretch has been difficult as well for different reasons, as Castro was offside. But he did say when we have these long breaks like we've had recently, 15 days between matches, 8 days between matches, they try to structure the week like a normal game week. They have an extra competition day during training, just to maintain that competitive mindset, stay in playing shape. Bortnichuk brings it in. Asante tries to play one through, can't do so. And it's worked out of the back. Here comes Zukowski. The Glen Rock, New Jersey native leaves it off. Lofted ball towards Marsh. Marsh brings it in. Unable to maneuver around Reed Valentine. It will be a throw for Greenville. Valentine just 19 years of age, but very composed at that right wing back spot. Here's Marsh working on Valentine. And that will be a free kick, just as we talk about that composure for Valentine. Bit of a haphazard foul. Valentine, the Dallas native, son of USL Championship, soon to be USL Championship side, Atletico Dallas owner Matt Valentine. So really impressive growth in the USL between both the Championship and League One level in the Lone Star State. Velasquez leaves it back, low ball. Lifted away. Asante the first to get there. Asante leaves it wide. Mason. Kilwine. Angling feed. Just a heavy touch turns things over. Throw in for Texoma. Searching for consecutive wins. And that win against Union Omaha, not the only bright spot this season. Yes, it's the only win, but there has certainly been progress for Adrian Forbes' side. 4 straight losses to start the season. Since then, 1 win and 3 draws in the last 5 matches. So a 1-1-3 record over the last 5. And the lone loss in that stretch was a wild 4-3 match against Charlotte Independence, which very easily could have been a draw, possibly a win. So there has been definite progress for this Texoma side, though a poor giveaway comes over to Herrera. Herrera leaves it wide. And an errant feed for Greenville, gives it back. Here's Spangler, surging forward. Lethal attacking piece. Ajmer Spangler rolls through wide. Mason gets there. Mason leaves it for Spangler. And Rankenberg was ready for it. And JP Jordan is down. Jordan requiring some medical attention. Let's go back to this last opportunity for Texoma, one of the more promising moments we've seen. Lovely ball from Spangler. Mason sends it back to Spangler, who tried to one-time it. You see Bortnichuk opposite side of the area calling for it. Good to see Jordan back on his feet. Another local product out of Keller, Texas. First-year pro out of the highly regarded Solar SC in the Dallas area. One of a handful of Texoma guys out of Solar SC. Reed Valentine, another one of them. That's a club that has produced the likes of Weston McKenney. And we will see a change. It will be a concussion substitution for Texoma. Just waiting to see who comes on for JP Jordan. We send Jordan our best. And it will be Teddy Baker. Baker, another first-year professional, making his 6th appearance of the season. Product of the Ipswich Town Academy in his native England. First-year pro after a standout college career at Hofstra University and Lake Erie College. He heads on for JP Jordan. Again, it's a concussion substitution. Sante taps it back, given away. Comes back to Spangler. Jockeys his way ahead. Ajmer Spangler dashes forward. Bortnichuk receives. Bortnichuk sneaks one across. Edge of the area. Down goes Asante. And a whistle. Free kick coming. Just outside of the 18. Chapa Herrera, who came in with that challenge. Bortnichuk finding Asante. Goes down. And it sets up a free kick in a threatening area. Rankenberg getting ready for this. Just past the midway point of this first 45. The trio of Spangler, Bortnichuk, and Asante huddled around it. Baker now joins the group as well. You'd imagine this is one where it will be hit right on frame. It is Spangler and Asante. Spangler into the wall. Well defended by Greenville. Spangler again. Spangler unleashes. Baker settles. And a shove from behind. Free kick coming for Texoma.
Free kick brought to you by Gary Jones Insurance Agency.
Valentine under some duress. Lovely turn around this pressure. Spangler flicks it through. Bortnichuk on the move. Bortnichuk couldn't get it through. Well defended by Fricke. And then a free kick awarded as Ajakwa goes down. That is a lovely build-up by Texoma. Just better defended by Brandon Fricke. What a ball in for Bortnichuk. That's what his team is capable of doing. We saw it last week against Union Omaha. There is some real attacking talent on this team. Despite that record, maybe it's taking a little bit of time for this group to come together, find itself. But it's a squad with some talent, with some veterans, with some young players, and now with some confidence. That's the biggest thing Adrian Forbes talked about when I asked him about some of the focal points heading into this match, just building off of the confidence that his players have after the Union Omaha win. Marsh couldn't quite get there. And he also acknowledged that his squad will have to be comfortable playing out of possession today. Similar to what we saw last week against Union Omaha, so nothing new for Texoma. Free kick on the way. And it will be a booking. Second yellow of the match, and it goes against Connor Evans. The USL and the CBS Sports Network wraps up the month of May with the Championship Western Conference doubleheader on May 28th. San Antonio FC takes on FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising at 10:30 p.m. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on May 28th. Both sides pleading for it. Will be a corner for Texoma.
Corner kick brought to you by Brazen Beauty Vault.
First corner of the match for the home side. Possession stats favoring Greenville. About 53%, which again is relatively around what we expected heading into this match. That being said, 6 shots for Texoma, just 1 for Greenville. Ozzy Ramos will send this in. Zakowski nicks it out for a throw. This Sunday afternoon match, part of a busy Memorial Day weekend in USL League One. Had a match that just wrapped up a bit before this one between Westchester and Richmond. 2-2 the final scoreline of that match. Westchester, Texoma, two of the 5 first-year clubs in League One. Here's Baker. Baker again. Chavez plays one along. Pollock hands it away, and it will be corner kick number 2 for Texoma.
Corner kick brought to you by Brazen Beauty Blends.
Pollock, a veteran player for Greenville Triumph. This is his 263rd pro appearance over 13 seasons. 7th year Triumph man. Second corner of the match for Texoma. Cuauhtemoc Delgadillo trying to break things up in the area. And we're match referee today. Second corner of this first half. Ball in and well long. And that will bring us to our first hydration break of the match. Temperatures at 92 degrees with a real feel of 103 degrees. And it's only May, so still time for things to heat up here in Sherman, Texas as the season progresses. Okay, we have a really cool matchup today in terms of some of the seasoned veterans in this league. 2 of the 5 oldest goal scorers in league history going head-to-head. Leo Castro scoring last week, 36 years and 6 days old. The oldest goal scorer in league history. Solomon Asante, 5th in that category, 35 years old and 2 months. So 2 seasoned veterans still playing at a very high level. Had a great chat with both managers about those players and what keeps them going. And Adrian Forbes, and we kind of touched on this before talking about Asante, just the passion and desire that he still has to have. He's accomplished so much in this league, but he still wants to win. He's willing to do whatever for the team. He also cited a great story. There was a match earlier this season where Asante was left out of the squad, and Solomon totally accepted it. He understood, and he said, "Coach, what do you need me to do for this match? What do you want from me?" And that's just the veteran that he is. And for Leo Castro, Rick Wright calls him a consummate professional. Also calls him fit as a fiddle. And when you consider that the 36-year-old is still leaping over center backs who are 10 years younger than him, like he did twice last week, to head home goals, yeah, he is clearly fit as a fiddle. The 36-year-old with 91 career professional goals. 3rd-year Triumph man, a boatload of success with South African Giants, Kaiser Chiefs, one of the great African clubs. Also played in his native Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia. Has meant so much, not only to the Triumph as a club, but to Greenville as a community. He is a local youth soccer coach in the area. So making his impact on the pitch as a player and tutoring the next generation of soccer stars from upstate South Carolina. Out of the hydration break, there's Sebastian Velasquez. Works on Kilwine. Velasquez leaves it off. And that's driven well out of play for a goal kick. Enter the Prinks Tires Tailgate Kit sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on your screen, bottom right corner, to enter today. It's a pretty sweet looking tailgate kit. Perfect for a long weekend like this. And of course, on this Memorial Day weekend, we do want to say that we certainly remember all of those who lost their lives in the line of duty, serving our country. We thank them for their service. Inside the final 10 minutes of this first 45. A first half that has seen just 2 combined shots on target. 7 shots in all for Texoma, just 1 for Greenville. And after playing off of the ball for a decent chunk of this first half, now we're seeing Texoma maintain some possession.
It's okay, because I'm booked for game 7, so I needed to go the distance.
Asante somehow stays on it, finds Spangler as it whisked away, and Herrera controls. Ramos. There's Garcia. Quality distribution from the back. Here comes Teddy Baker. Spangler into space. Ajmer Spangler leaves it off. Bortnichuk skips it through. Mason. Spangler chops it towards goal. Not a very threatening attempt. And Zakowski will launch it away. Spangler's had a couple of moments where he's received it in some dangerous areas, but unable to provide that quality strike just yet. Blasted ball. Pollock gets there. Marsh tries to tiptoe the touchline and ran out of real estate. Siobhan Marsh and Rapapa Mensah, 2 notable off-season acquisitions for Greenville, both coming from Chattanooga Red Wolves. And both have a lot of quality in their games, especially in the attacking sense. Mensah still trying to find his spot in this squad. Of course, Leo Castro has been so good at the number 9 spot this season for Greenville. This ball lifted in. Asante gets there, but was offside. Speaking of Marsh and Mensah, both coming from Chattanooga, what a start to the season it has been for Scott McKenzie's Chattanooga Red Wolves. Last night, picking up a 2-1 road victory, first road win of the season. I would say, the surprise team of the year. Many of the prognosticators had them last or near the bottom of the table in preseason projections. Now in a pretty strong spot to start this season through the first couple of months. We've touched on the possession stats in this match a couple of times. Last night, drastic difference. Tormenta had 75% of the possession in that match, but Chattanooga still won. Just goes to show possession far from everything. We even saw that in the Europa League final, with Tottenham being dramatically outpossessed by Manchester United, and Spurs still came away with the 1-0 win. Here's Fricky. Leaves it off. Evans powers one across. And a goal kick coming as we approach the final 5 minutes of this first 45. Blasted ball towards Bortnichuk. Polak and Bortnichuk battle for it. It is won by Bortnichuk, who then gives it away as Marsh controls. Polak. Evans. Velasquez. Marsh. Here's Herrera. Playing at his home state today, the El Paso, Texas native. El Paso at the very western end of Texas. Might as well be a completely different country given how large this state is. Here in Sherman at the northern portion of the state. In fact, the name Texoma is the area which includes the 8 counties on the Red River, which separates Texas and Oklahoma. Herrera. Bit of space to work with here for Evans. Velasquez. Castro, Velasquez tried to flick through. Well defended, and Ramos controls. Spangler. Final few minutes of this first half. Spangler. Chavez dials one long. Polak gets there, comes to Bortnichuk, lays it off. Asante couldn't stay on it. Greenville looked to counter. Velasquez will slow things down. The Texoma very comfortable sending those long balls, especially to Bortnichuk on that right flank. We saw it last week against Union Omaha. Lovely long ball that found Bortnichuk in stride, had a tremendous first touch, teed one up on a platter to Asante, who buried it for the first goal in that 2-1 win over Union Omaha. Chavez jockeys with Castro, and Castro whistled.
Brought to you by Terry Jones Insurance Agency.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network, for a Western Conference doubleheader on May 28th. San Antonio FC versus FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising at 10:30 p.m. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Zakowski. A whistle. Bit of a shove. And Zakowski, the Glen Rock, New Jersey native. Second year Greenville Triumph man who has now started in the last 4 matches for Greenville. Initial indications suggest 5 minutes of added time. Ramos lifts it ahead. Rankenberg off his line. Jacqua gets there first. Here is Jacqua. Muscles his way forward. Ivan Jacqua powerfully ahead. Leaves it for Marsh. Cranks one across, and it's brought in by Garcia. 5 minutes of added time. But you do see the strength, the quality of Ivan Jacqua.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum 5 minutes of added time in the first half.
Here's Asante. Spangler. Mason nearly turns it over, and he does give it away. Here's Castro. Marsh leaves it for Castro. Velasquez rolls. Castro couldn't quite get there, and a goal kick on the way. For a Texoma defense that for much of this season has struggled. 18 goals conceded, which is the most in League One. This bunch has been stout today against a Greenville team that has shown an ability to score, especially as of late. 5 goals over the last 2 matches for Greenville Triumph, but just 1 total shot in this first half thus far. Nice leap from Cuauhtemoc Delgadillo, our match referee. Here's Baker. Plays one along. Bortnichuk wins it, but heads it out for a goal kick. Final few minutes of first half stoppage time. This sweltering Sunday in Sherman, Texas. Gunther Rankenberg, Javier Garcia, the 2 goalkeepers haven't been tested much today. Just a save apiece. Castro tried to open things up. Well read by Kilwine. As Valentine blasts it away. Here's Zakowski. Has some space to operate. Marked by Baker. Zakowski pops one across. Headed away by Reed Valentine. Bortnichuk leaves it for Mason. is Valentine. Rankenberg taking his time. Inside the final minute of stoppage time. Here's Castro, brings it in, his ball is cradled. No trouble for Javier Garcia. Maybe time for one last attack for Texoma. In a first half that has seen the home side fire off 8 shots. Just 1 on target, however. Ramos. And there's the whistle. We've played 50 minutes, including added time, and no goals to show for it.
At the end,
8 shots, though, for Texoma, but just 2 combined shots on target. And it's halftime in Sherman, Texas. And we are scoreless between Greenville Triumph and Texoma FC. Halftime coming up after this on ESPN+. Again, a fairly uneventful first 45. There were flashes for both sides. Not a whole lot of action in the attacking third. We'll see what's in store for the final 45 minutes coming up after this. Texoma and Greenville Triumph scoreless through 45 minutes here on ESPN+. Halftime in Sherman, Texas. As we move through week 12, let's look back at the save and goal of the week from week number 11. Dashes free, curls it into the area, on the back post, headed loose. Oh, turned away by Garcia. Did it cross the end line? Wow, Javier Garcia making a winning play.
That's the scenario we're working with. Josh Drag joining the fold. Obregon trying from afar. This is audacious, and it's in! You have just witnessed one of the best goals you'll see all year in USL League One.
Play on in the 11, knocked over. Romario Williams chested down. Oh, what a stop by Jamali Wade.
Two successful seasons in Birmingham before coming to the Rowdies.
Hostad! Oh, it's a blast! 1-0, Rhode Island goes on top.
This week on USL All Access, Knoxville's new head coach, Ian Fuller, is off to an undefeated start in the league. He joins us to talk about all the good things going on in Knoxville. We'll also talk about a disappointing week in the Open Cup for the USL Championship, including what's wrong in Tampa Bay. It's all coming up this week on USL All Access on SiriusXM FC.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it.
Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Who wants that smoke? You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing, I'm saying this ain't a joke. There ain't no bluffing, I'm calling you out for show. It's either all in or nothing, I go for broke. Who wants that smoke?
Well, last week the umbrellas were out because it was raining. This week it is so sunny. The umbrellas are out once again. It's scoreless through halftime between Texoma and Greenville Triumph. As we move through week 12 in USL League One, let's take a look at the news and notes from around the league. We've seen some highlight reel goals from well outside of the area this season. None deeper than Juan Carlos Obregon's 70-yard strike, which was #1 in SportsCenter last weekend. Gold Cup just around the corner. 23 USL Championship and League One players have been named to 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup preliminary roster, so congratulations to those tremendous athletes. And Forward Madison always seems to have some really cool matchups against some international squads. Liga MX's development squad Tigres U23s will be in town on June 25th. Well, we've had the opportunity to see the reigning USL League One Player of the Week presented by eFootball play. In this match, it's Leo Castro. Leo Castro had a brace last week, 2-headed goals, 6 minutes apart. The 15th multi-goal contribution match in his illustrious 17-year career. The 36-year-old nearing 100 career pro goals, sitting at 91 goals in his professional career. He spearheads the Week 11 Team of the Week in USL League One. Connor Evans also on that team after he had an assist on one of those goals last week. You see Ajmir Spangler of Texoma also on the Team of the Week. Had a goal last match against Unit Omaha. Now 4 goals in the last 5 matches for Ajmir Spangler. And Javier Garcia was on the bench as well as the goalkeeper. Had 6 saves, including the USL League One Save of the Week in last week's 2-1 win for Texoma over the reigning champs in Unit Omaha. And he's so far pitching a shutout once again in goal. Hasn't had to do all too much today, but he's looked solid when called upon. This busy weekend continues today. One more match tonight, Naples and Union Omaha, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN+. 4 matches final, some very competitive matches. 1-1 between Forward Madison and Portland. 2-1 win for Chattanooga. We touched on Scott McKenzie's club start to the season. A tremendous first few months for the Red Wolf squad. They had 4 draws early, but now have won a couple of matches in a row. AV Alta taking down Charlotte Independence. And then earlier today, Westchester and Richmond Kickers, a 2-2 draw up in New York. So that's a look at our scores around the league. And again, a reminder, one more match to play later tonight. And still 45 minutes left in this one. Will we see a goal or will we remain scoreless? Texoma and Greenville triumph, wrapping up halftime here in Sherman, Texas. We'll get things going again after this on ESPN+. Halftime just about in the books. Some young fans taking in this match. Still scoreless between Texoma and Greenville triumph. Before we get to our second half, let's take a look back at the half that was. And that's it, not a whole lot of quality chances. And now we'll look at our first half statistics. Just 8 combined shots, a shot on target apiece, possession stats, dead even at 50-50. And then 2 yellow cards against Greenville triumph. Gunther Rankenberg and Connor Evans both booked in that first 45. But again, the quality of chances just has not been there from either squad so far. We'll see if things open up in the second half. One number not on there looking at the XGs, Texoma 0.41 and Greenville 0.06 for the XG. So again, neither squad with that quality opportunity over the first 45 minutes. It's a Greenville Triumph team, winless in its last 4 league matches, its last 5 matches across all competitions. Trying to pick up this win, get things back on track. Rick Wright said, "We feel good about ourselves. We haven't been playing poorly, but we've just been giving up some crummy goals." That is very true. We touched on it earlier. Just some of these goals have been incomprehensible, how they've gone in, just wild and wacky goals that Greenville have conceded as of late this season. And for Texoma, coming off of that win last week against Union Omaha, playing with a boatload of confidence now. And it's an interesting stretch because it's the newcomer, one of the 5 newcomers in Texoma, playing back-to-back matches against 2 League One giants. Today taking on Greenville Triumph, the team with the most wins in League One history. Last week beat a Union Omaha team with the 2nd most wins in League One history, and a Union Omaha squad that's the only team to have won multiple league titles after winning its 2nd a season ago. So 2 clubs with tremendous pedigree coming to Sherman, Texas, and Texoma trying to dispatch of both of them in consecutive matches. And it's a Texoma team that has gotten results as of late. 4 straight losses to start the season, but 1 win and 3 draws in the last 5 matches since then. And Adrian Forbes' squad hoping to pick up another result. His first job coaching in the United States. A native of England who played over 363 matches in his home country, primarily in the Championship and League One level. Also was the head of coaching and player development for Luton Town from 2019 to 24, was a key part of Luton Town's 10-year rise from non-league to the Premier League. One of the great stories in world football in recent years. And we are underway, final 45 minutes in the first ever meeting between Texoma FC and Greenville Triumph. John Gross with you on this Sunday afternoon. It's a hot one in Sherman. Real feel over 100 degrees. Greenville in the whites, Texoma in the black kits. Nice switch for Marsh. This is a more narrow pitch here at historic Bearcat Stadium. Makes those switches a little bit easier. Jacqua maneuvers his way free, leaves it off for Vasquez, being dragged from behind, still going. And here comes the card. It will be a booking, first yellow of the match against a Texoma player, and it goes against Ozzy Ramos. This was as clear cut gets. The tug of the jersey sets up a free kick for Greenville. Sikowski, Evans, and Velasquez all in the vicinity. Evans has had some lovely deliveries on set pieces. Has 3 assists this season, leads this team, and good for 2nd in the league entering the weekend. And if you're looking for somebody to hit it directly on goal from this distance, it's probably Sikowski. He's scored twice. He was a proven goal scorer at Monmouth University in West Long Branch, New Jersey. 32 career goals for the Hawks. Now in his 2nd season with Greenville. Has 2 goals this year. It's Sikowski and Herrera. And it is Sikowski who shanks it just off target. Goal kick on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution is issued by the referee to Texoma FC. Number 3, Ozzy Ramos, in the 47th minute.
Throw in on the way for Texoma. First possession of this second half for the home side. 7 shots for Los Pájaros in that first 45 minutes. A team that is clearly playing with some confidence. There's been some lovely creativity, connectivity on multiple occasions today. That final product just hasn't quite been there. There's Mason. Rare to see him playing on the right side. Valentine couldn't bring it in. Castro at the controls. Castro rolls it ahead, just out of the reach of Siobhan Marsh. That throw-in initially was not to the liking of Cuauhtemoc Delgadillo in terms of its location. So we get back to it as it's sent ahead for Zakowski. Ben Zakowski works 1v1 on Kilwine. Velasquez, Zakowski. Herrera. Evans powers one across. And that heads out for a goal kick. Connor Evans, who has proven to be a quality distributor, leads this team with 3 assists this season. Rick Wright said he's been consistent. However, he did add there will be some competition at that right back spot with the addition of Toby Sims this past week. Sims not available for selection today. He just finished up his season playing in League Two in England. But Sims, somebody very familiar with the city of Greenville, played USL 2 in the area, played his college soccer at Chowan University in North Carolina, so knows that region of the United States very well. And Rick Wright had glowing remarks about Toby Sims and what he brings to this team. So a lot of excitement with his addition. Greenville also just acquired Zeke Soto on loan from Charleston Battery. Very skilled young player, just 18 years old, a rising star in the U.S. Youth National Team system. Here's Marsh, turns the corner. Marsh pops it across towards Castro. It is just out of his reach. Leo Castro was on the doorstep and oh so close to making contact with it. It's the pace for Marsh that allows him to get free. I don't know if Castro maybe thought somebody was making a run to the right of him, but just watched it go by. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Zakowski taps ahead, and Garcia is there. But I think if you're a Greenville supporter, you have to be somewhat encouraged by what we've seen in the early minutes of this second half. Calfo went down behind the play. Angelo Calfo, the Seattle, Washington native, who has been a consistent starter this season for Texoma. Okay from Kelfo, who returns to the U.S. after spending last year playing in Australia's second division. Mason. That ball comes off of Zakowski, and it is a handball. Kilwine will have to bring it back a couple of yards. The USL veteran who has played over 10,000 pro minutes, most recently with Tormenta, one of the best left-footed creators at the back, I'd say, in this league. So that one is played long. Anguiano takes a tumble and is awarded the free kick. And ball will have to be backed up again. Jacqua will put it back into play. Pollock able to nod it ahead, but nobody there to receive. Chuck stabs it out for a triumph throw. Jacqua. There's Marsh. Evans lifts it ahead. Tapped forward from Mason. Will be a throw, but first, alterations. Luke McCormick will head on for Maciek Bortnichuk, and Will Perkins replaces Davy Mason. Perkins, he had been a starter for all 7 matches he's played this year, but did not play last week against his former club in Union Omaha. The Detroit, Michigan native, and it's back out there for his 8th appearance. Meanwhile, there's Luke McCormick trotting on. Initially had some visa delays, which delayed his debut. Made his Texoma debut on May 10th against Davy Alta. Played 18 minutes last match as a sub against Union Omaha. And now heads on in the second half. His 3rd appearance, the product of the Nottingham Forest Academy. It was a difficult day for Nottingham Forest today, falling just shy of Champions League qualification. Instead, will play in the Conference League, which still a major accomplishment for Nottingham Forest, a club that last season was a relegation candidate. And it took until the final match day for them to find out which European competition they'd be playing in. As Perkins goes down. And whose throw will it be? It will stay with Will Perkins and Texoma. Polak gives it away. Here's Spangler. Sidesteps, still Spangler. Catch up on a cross. Ajakwa falls on it. Ball still loose. And Ajakwa holding that left ankle. You see Spangler dashing through the area. Ajakwa was down. Spangler, well, both players, Furky and Spangler, tried to kick at it. Still waiting for clarification here from our match referee, Cuauhtemoc Delgadillo. And it will be a free kick in the area. This is something you do not see every day. It's an indirect free kick. Must be touched first before somebody could shoot it on frame. So just shy of the hour mark. An indirect free kick for Texoma after Ajakwa fell on it. And it has to be touched first. Here's Baker, blasted low, and the wall turns it away as Marsh will chip it out of there. Oh, what a touch by Adrian Forbes. He still has it, folks. 363 pro matches in his native England. Well defended. Multiple lines of defense in the way of Teddy Baker. And a card coming out. And Rick Wright has been booked. The Greenville Triumph manager, the native of Bermuda, has been shown yellow. That last deflected off of Greenville. It will be a corner for Texoma. We will see a change momentarily. Michael Gonzalez getting ready to enter for Greenville. He'll replace Siobhan Marsh. But first, a corner kick for Ozzy Ramos. Ball in from Ramos. It's a low one. Spangler taps back for Ramos. Drives one across. Zikowski snaps it away. And Ajakwa nods it forward. And a whistle. It goes against Siobhan Marsh. And it will head Texoma's direction.
Free kick brought to you by Kerry Jones Insurance Agency.
That will be it for Siobhan Marsh. Marsh exits, and he's replaced by Michael Gonzalez.
Entering the match is number 17, Michael Gonzalez.
Fresno, California native. And if he plays the entirety of the next 28+ minutes, it will be the most he's played all season. Last match played a season high 25 minutes against AV Alta. As a sub,
Coach Mike Jeffries in the 61st minute.
bouncing back from an injury that he suffered in the season opener. First-year Greenville Triumph player who spent last year with USL Championship side Monterey Bay. He did end last season as a starter for Monterey Bay. Jacqua. Mangiano leaves it wide. Pollock now taps ahead. First touch of the match for Gonzalez. Rolls it central. Zakowski couldn't get it past Kilwine. Beautiful build-up, but a better block. Couple of quality feeds. How about this? First 2 touches of the match for Michael Gonzalez. A one-time strike by Zakowski ends up deflecting off of Kilwine. Well defended by Preston. Kilwine taking his time to get back to his feet. Adrian Forbes looks on.
Texoma FC hits the road to take on the Richmond Kickers.
His side searching for consecutive wins. There has been certainly progress for Texoma this season. The results that are starting to come. The defensive improvement has been there. Kilwine slowly back on his feet. And he's hobbling. We'll see if Adrian Forbes can keep him in there. Walking very gingerly. And it does appear as if Kilwine will exit. Well, if that is it for Kilwine, his day ends making a potential goal-saving play. And we will see a change. For the first time since April 5th, Donald Ben Amna, the member of the Central African Republic national team, heads out for Texoma. It's a corner from Evans. In-swinger fisted away by Garcia. And Spengler dragged down, somehow stays on his feet. Nearly tackled as it's tapped ahead. But the flag was raised. Let's see, will they bring this back to the spot of what was clearly multiple fouls? And this will certainly be a yellow. And it is a booking. Let's take one more look at it. Well played by Garcia. And then in my eyes, there are 2 plays that could have resulted in a yellow. That first tug, especially that second tug. We will see a change. We'll give you the yellow card momentarily, but Ben Zakowski is getting set to exit. For the first time, Zeke Soto will head on as a Triumph player. We'll have to wait a moment for that. Talk about him once he heads on the pitch. McCormick could not keep it in play. Check that. Sebastian Velasquez, the one who will exit for Soto. Soto was added last week. He joins on loan from USL Championship side Charleston Battery. This is his first appearance as a member of Greenville Triumph. The 18-year-old member of the U.S. Youth National Team at the U17 level, actually debuted at the U17 level as a 15-year-old, and a product of the Houston Dynamo Academy, who joined Charleston last summer. Now on for the first time as a member of Greenville, again on loan.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution is issued.
And the yellow card was issued to Carlos Anguiano.
Number 6, Jose Anguiano in the 67th minute.
Here's McCormick. McCormick clipped off of it and cleared away by Evans.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Texoma FC in the 66th minute. Entering the match is number 19, Donald Benama. Leaving the match is number 4, Preston Kilvine. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Greenville Triumph SC in the 68th minute. Entering the match is number 21, Ezekiel Soto.
Blasted along.
Number 10,
Evans brings it down. Perkins goes airborne. What a way to win that header. Will Perkins showing off the leaping ability. But it will head down to Greenville. Let's take a replay. Look at the elevation here. Woo! Nearly hurdled Ben Zakowski. Here's Soto. His first touch as a Triumph player. Leaves it towards Castro and it's broken up. Calfo there defensively. A surge from Ben Amna and he meets Tyler Polak. Gonzalez, marked by Valentine, dashes inward, plays one across. Soto brings it down. Ball clipped out of the area. Here's McCormick. And that heads out for a throw. Well, we will see a change, and this is a rare sight. Evan Lee will come on as a substitute. We touched on this in the open, but according to GVL Goals on Twitter, or X, I guess, just the 10th time in Evan Lee's Greenville Triumph career that he's not in the starting 11. Available as a substitute instead. And the USL League One all-time appearance leader heads on for his 156th career league appearance. He replaces Carlos Anguiano. And during that change, a yellow card issued to Texoma manager Adrian Forbes. So both managers have been booked in this one.
Substitution for Greenville Triumph SC in the 72nd minute. Entering the match is number 12, Evan Lee. Leaving the match is number 6, Jose Anguiano.
Good step from Herrera. Castro plays it through, looped away by Calfo. Ben Amna taps it from Lee. Jacqua lost it. Here comes Ben Amna. Donald Benamna surging ahead, sticks with it. And that feed given away. Benamna making his first appearance in well over a month, his first action since April 5th. And both Ajakwa and Spengler are down. Let's take a look at it. Spengler, he came in a bit late there, but it was not called. Garcia. Blasts it out for a throw. Fans enter the Prinks Tires Tailgate Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan that QR code, bottom right corner of your screen, to enter today. Javier Garcia will now require some medical attention. Garcia, remember earlier in this match, back in the first half, through some contact to the face. Getting that right leg stretched out. And we will see our hydration break for the second half. So nearing the final 15 minutes. Again, temperatures in the low 90s, real feel over 100 degrees. So once it's that hot, mandated hydration breaks 30 minutes into each half. Texoma in its first season as a club. It was announced back on October 23rd, 2023. The Texoma area, the Texoma name, of course, a combination between Texas and Oklahoma. The Texoma area includes 8 counties on the Red River, which is the river that separates Texas and Oklahoma. Now, if you look at the crest on the scoreboard graphic, you'll see that there are 2 birds. And while they look similar, they're different birds. There it is, great shot by our camera crew. 2 different birds. It is the northern mockingbird and a scissor-tailed flycatcher. Those are the state birds of Texas and Oklahoma, respectively. And you see a little bit different, the tail shaped a bit differently, the beak's a bit different as well, but that is the crest for Texoma, and hence the nickname Los Pájaros, the birds. So a little bit of history for this club, Texoma, one of the 5 first-year clubs in League One, and it's quite the juxtaposition between Texoma, year 1 as a club, starting from the ground up, versus Greenville, the winningest club in league history in terms of match wins. Club that has reached the semifinal in 5 of the last 6 seasons. Of course, made major news, sending shockwaves throughout the soccer world last October when the legendary Ronaldinho became a part owner of the club. So Greenville certainly a model to follow for these 5 first-year clubs. And the 5 first-year teams in League One this season, the largest single-season expansion in league history. The league now up to 14 teams. Just shows the continued upward trajectory of USL and of soccer in the United States. We are back to action. Final 13 or so minutes of this match. And a free kick on the way for Greenville triumph as Leo Castro is down. will see a card. And that yellow card goes against the captain in Jordan Chavez. Free kick on the way for Greenville. Lifted into the area. Garcia got his hands on it. Contact. And Garcia in some serious pain. And things have to be separated. And Jacqua down as well. We will see at least one card come out. And a booking late in this one. Still waiting for confirmation on that yellow, but does appear as if it is tacked to Jacqua. Watch as Evans sends this in. Garcia, yeah, that's the Jacqua. And Garcia is down again. So Ivan Jacqua has been booked, the London, England native.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution is issued by the referee to Texoma FC. Number 12. Jordan Chavez in the 76th.
There's the Jacqua, the first-year pro who is very familiar with the Greenville, South Carolina area. Played his college soccer at Furman University in Greenville, multi-time all-conference player. That's a legendary men's soccer program. Clint Dempsey, Ricardo Clark, Walker Zimmerman, just a handful of the all-time greats in Furman soccer history. But Jacqua did just pick up the yellow. Inside the final 10 minutes of this match, will we see a breakthrough? Greenville winless in its last 5 across all competitions. Texoma searching for consecutive wins. McCormick, Sante could not stay on it. Lifted along towards Castro. Castro brings it down. Oh, what a save! Javier Garcia, well off his line, still makes the play. He made the save of the week last week. He may have just repeated with this denial. Wow, what a stop against one of the great goal scorers in this league. Whew. Javier Garcia. Stellar stuff from the keeper. Does result in a corner from Connor Evans. He has assisted in back-to-back matches. Ball in from Evans. Garcia, fingertips on it. Castro brings it in. Zakowski blasted and nearly snuck it past Garcia. Couple of quality opportunities for Greenville. Great save by Garcia on that shot by Castro, and then Zakowski places it just wide. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Valentine read that well, but turns it over. Here comes Zeke Soto in his Greenville debut. Leaves it for Zakowski. Rolls it central. Herrera got a toe on it, but could not settle. And Valentine launches away. Well, it's only been a few minutes and a couple of touches, but Zeke Soto has made his presence known in this one. The 18-year-old on loan from Charleston Battery of the USL Championship, making an impact already. And the offside flag is raised. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all of your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Ramos. He's being intercepted. Evans pops it ahead. No trouble for Garcia. And I'm not. Hence it to nobody. Inside the final 5 minutes. Benamna, in his first match since April 5th, he gives it away. Polak rolls it through. One more touch towards Castro, and it's broken up by Calfo. Benamna, nearly a costly giveaway. His first appearance in well over a month. There's somebody who does represent his home nation of the Central African Republic on its national team. Actually missed the first few matches of this season, playing with Central African Republic in World Cup qualifiers. McCormick wins it. Still McCormick. That's broken up. Settled by Ramos. McCormick dragged down. An easy call and a free kick coming.
Free kick brought to you by Terry Jones Insurance Agency.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from around the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Herrera. Zakowski turns into space. Zakowski plays it long, and that heads out for a goal kick. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch the live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. And we appreciate all of you making us a part of your Memorial Day weekends on ESPN+. John Gross with you as we wind down final few minutes of this one. Here's Gonzalez, lifts one in. Soto gets there. Evans blasted, oh! Nearly knuckled its way in there. Would have been a stunner of a strike. Watch the movement at the tail end. This initially seemed like it was going to be way off to the left, and then just bends ever so slightly goalwards. We've seen Evans score this season. He does have 1 goal, also 3 assists. 1 goal and 2 assists over his last 2 matches. Here's Ben Amna. Turns on the Jets. Still Ben Amna. Donald Ben Amna powers one across. Fricky heads it out of there. Good run, though, by Ben Amna. That window closed quickly. Spangler, his feet intercepted. Evans ahead for Zakowski. Zakowski hustles ahead. Gonzalez. Evans. Soto splits inside. Lovely feed. Here's Lee. Turns and crosses. Zakowski could not bring it in. And now we enter stoppage time. And 9 minutes of added time to decision. Strap in, folks. A lot of soccer left to play in this one. McCormick plays through. Baker could not get there, and it will be a goal kick for Rankenberg.
Stoppage time is brought to you by...
In terms of opportunities, it has been a bit of a role reversal from the first half to second half. First half, 7 shots for Texoma, 1 for Greenville. Second half, 5 shots for Greenville, and just 1 for Texoma. Gonzalez tracks it down. Gonzalez plays one across, headed, and rolled away by Perkins. Zakowski was there, could not knot it on frame, and here comes McCormick. His run broken up. There's one more look. Gonzalez has been very impressive from that wide area. Zakowski had an opportunity, could not do anything with it. Oh, and that is in the face of Evan Lee. My goodness. This continues the trend of Greenville players kicking the ball into their teammates. We saw it last match on that back-breaking goal conceded in the 86th. We saw it against Chattanooga earlier this season. Both of those led directly to goals. Here is Evan Lee. Lee rolls it forward towards Castro, broken up by Chavez. Offside flag is raised. Benamna wants it central. Rankenberg will get there. Lifted by Baker. And again to Gunther Rankenberg. A mad dash forward. Gonzalez gets there. Michael Gonzalez marked by Valentine. Gonzalez, he goes down. He is not awarded the whistle. Simply a throw. But this will allow Greenville to set up its press, with Valentine having to throw it in from a bit of a precarious spot. And Lee does win it back for Asante. Now it's given away for Asante. Asante rolls for McCormick. Luke McCormick leaves it off. McCormick again. McCormick. Asante. Asante taken off of it. Spangler recovers. Ajmer Spangler, leading goal scorer for Texoma. He goes down, back on his feet. Recovered by Baker. Hits it off target, but it took a deflection. And a corner for Texoma. Life for the home side. Asante, see Ajakwa taking it off of him. Spangler there to recover, and then it ended up being a shot that took a deflection. Here's the shot from Teddy Baker. So it is a corner kick. Texoma has not attempted a shot in nearly 40 minutes prior to that. In swinger. Chavez got a head on it, and it's gone in! Texoma in stoppage time. Teddy Baker, jubilant. What a moment for the first-year pro. And that may just be the winner. One more look. Chavez got the head on it initially. See Baker getting after it. Lee kind of stuck his foot in there as well. And Teddy Baker, who had that shot that led to the corner kick, may have just delivered the winner. And for Greenville, another match, another break, a back-breaking goal conceded late. This has just been a tough defensive stretch for Greenville Triumph. And now desperation time for Rick Wright's crew. And Zakowski and Perkins going at it. And a yellow card against both players. Zakowski and Perkins, both shown yellow. Throw in for Greenville. It's Evans who will toss this in. Long toss from Evans into the area. Ajakwa heads it, and Garcia brings it in. Final moments of this one. Gonzalez. Soto works it wide. Zakowski leaves it off. Herrera curls it. Ajakwa brings it in. Gonzalez marked by Ben Amna. Ben Amna there defensively. Here comes Donald Ben Amna. Ben Amna lays it off. Spangler surges. Spangler goes down, and he was dragged down. Will be a free kick and a yellow. Michael Gonzalez shown yellow. There's one more look. Spangler. You see that drag? They play the advantage. He goes down. A free kick for Texoma. Now here's the question if you're Texoma. Do you try to just play it short, work towards the corner, time waste? Well, we will see some changes.
In the 98th minute.
So a change for Texoma. It's Pilat Dlamini who heads on, replaces Ozzy Ramos. Dlamini, the native of South Africa, making his debut, and that's turned away by Rankenberg. And there's the whistle. Back-to-back wins. Texoma FC. Los Pájaros flying high, courtesy of that man. Teddy Baker, the stoppage time winner off the corner kick. And Adrian Forbes and company finding momentum as this season moves through the month of May. 1-0 the final score as Texoma takes it. Teddy Baker, his first professional goal. We will step aside and put a bow on things after this. The home side taking down Greenville Triumph. Highlights and more next. (1-0) the final. Back-to-back wins for Texoma, who last week took down the reigning champs. This week take down the club with the most wins in USL League One history in Greenville Triumph. Javier Garcia, his second clean sheet of the season. Let's roll the tape on the match that was Texoma and Greenville Triumph. First ever meeting between these clubs. Greenville Triumph, its best chance of the match right here. Leo Castro, this is who you want taking a chance like that. But what a save made by Javier Garcia. Had last week's save of the week in the league. That's a contender for this week's save of the week as well. Then we go to stoppage time. 90+5. Corner kick. Chavez wins the header. Teddy Baker takes a stab at it and finds netting. It's the winner in stoppage time. And Texoma FC, back-to-back victories for the first time in club history. And Adrian Forbes' squad in the win column. Again, a look at our final match statistics. Texoma +3 in shots, though that shot disparity really narrowed over the course of that second half. Possession right around even, and it was that extra corner kick, that one last corner kick, that was the decisive moment. Texoma able to capitalize. This match did see 11 combined yellow cards. Pretty physical, chippy. Both managers got booked as well. Well, Adrian Forbes and company built this club from the ground up. Started the season off with 4 consecutive losses. But since then, just 1 loss, including now 2 wins and 3 draws. Some real momentum for the first-year club in Texoma FC as they take down Greenville Triumph 1-0. For our entire fantastic crew, I'm John Gross saying so long. Thanks to all of you for joining us. This has been USL League One on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.